Every deck is made for standing on, but there's only one that's always had a way of standing out. So if you're looking to bring more style, comfort, and creativity to your life outdoors, call on the brand that's known for making the most in outdoor living. From decking, railing, and lighting to furniture, fencing, and framing, at Trex, we're engineering what's next in outdoor living. To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, call 1-800-289-TREX or visit Trex.com. That's TREX.com.
This is the Best of Golic and Wingo podcast.
Is going to happen when we go to break. I'm going to punch you in the face.
Use your words, not your fist.
Okay. No, I'm using my fist.
Use your feelings.
Trey is a dead man.
Say what you want. 5 for 8, 0 for 4.
You know what I can
Coming
do?
up, a clarification that made things more confusing, and Mike will speak, which will probably make things even more confusing.
Trey, you have a 10-second head start. Run. That's like running music.
It is, and I apparently should still be running from the beating you're going to give me. But good Thursday!
Hey.
Welcome in, Golic Wingo, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Glad you're with us. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. All phone guests will join us via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Mike Golic Jr., Trey Wingo. It feels like this should be the start of something.
You never know what you pull out of your pocket.
What did you just do?
What just happened?
For those not watching on ESPN News, Mike just had a completely flummoxed look on his face and pulls out about 400 chocolate eggs from his pants pocket.
I forgot I had them in my pocket from like their Easter chocolate eggs.
How?
I forgot I had them in my pocket.
You wear those pants like every day, though. How long are you just walking around with chocolate eggs?
I forgot they were in my pocket. What do you want me to tell you? I forgot to eat them.
How do you not know that you have 800 chocolate eggs in your pocket?
I don't know, but they're going to get eaten pretty soon.
Well, throw me one now.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that.
They're warm.
They might be a little melted. That's my bad.
They're a little soft.
I'm concerned by how warm they are, but not concerned enough to not eat it.
This is really disconcerting.
Yeah, I did.
They're really good, though.
I forgot I had them in my pocket, but hey, you know what? I noticed you guys are mocking me, yet I noticed you both have eaten one. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Now we can start the show with a little more jacked up sugar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was really weird.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not gonna lie.
Go ahead now. Do your thing, Trey. Do your thing.
This is very disconcerting.
But you know what? The thing is now you're going to expect a treat from me every morning, both of you.
That's true.
Yep.
This is going to be very Pavlovian. I'm going to hear Trey say the first words on the mic and then just look over here and start salivating.
See what I'm pulling out of my pocket.
Hey, Mike, the treat for me every day is just being here next to you.
Wow, there you go.
There you go. We're a one happy family.
Yeah, we are.
Unlike the Dan Levitard, Joan Stugotz.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we got beef.
Apparently they're upset.
Yeah.
And I just want to say 3 words.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, we have Stugotz on today. We'll get to the bottom of that.
That's a contraction. It's 4 words.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Wow.
That's a fair point.
Well played,
I will give you that.
I just, I want to make sure we're buttoned up because they're going to come after us, and you guys have Stu coming on at 8.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we're airtight right now.
But here's my bigger concern. Where are you in this? Because I feel like you could be like a double agent.
Can we really quickly, because I'm not even sure, what is the beef about?
Thank you.
We don't know.
I don't know. They're upset with us for something.
They're upset with us.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I know Stugotz Army is a
Stugotz,
strong.
you know the beef? Cliff's
got his own beef with
first of all,
Stugotz,
Cliff
too.
has his own beef with Stu.
What's going on there?
Threw Cliff under the bus the other day on their show.
For what reason?
Well, you remember Cliff came out with the take that he thought that Jay
Sixers
Wright
should
was
take
going to
Jay
take
Wright.
the Sixers
The horribly
take.
stupid thing that Jay Wright should take over the Sixers, who have now won 12 straight, so clearly they should fire their coach.
And so Stugotz came on the air and defended Cliff because he was going to steal that take for himself.
That seems nice.
And Stugotz said, I understand. He's like, I understand where you're coming from. I understand not being taken seriously. And so they brought Cliff on.
Yeah.
And in a moment of pseudo-deception, they brought Cliff on and asked him a question he wasn't ready for that he didn't hear, and so when Cliff didn't respond in time, they shamed Cliff on air. They turned him into more content, and so now Cliff is upset, and rightly so.
Is that what it is, Cliff?
Got legitimate beef with Stugotz.
Okay, well...
So this isn't...
So Stanzik, do you know the actual beef?
So then there's a separate beef.
Oh,
They are mad that we did an etymology segment.
You mean a breademology?
A breademology.
Did you know
segment.
Brett's a researcher who likes to get on air?
I did.
Okay, just not true.
Why
are
they were mad because apparently Dan is always asking for word origins, and we were supposed to know that that's their thing. And the funny part is they did this in the same segment where they mocked LeBron for claiming barbershop arguments.
Oh, so they think we're stealing their material?
So they're claiming that they invented word origins.
Well, hold on. So in other words, their thing is that we should have known that Dan occasionally likes to know where words come from, even though they've never done that on the show.
Well, they do that on the show, but sparingly.
Okay. So basically,
Never
this,
in a segment.
For people to understand, because I was even a little confused, just think of it this way. We're Nick Saban. We're right. And the
they're LeBron. Exactly.
Lebitard show is LeBron, and they're wrong. And the big thing out of this is, Mike, you work with Stugotz. You have a Stugotz Army shirt.
He's treasonous.
You basically, if this is going to continue, you have to burn that shirt on air.
Listen,
no,
I look at the situation like this. I am fully ready to support you guys in this. I am going to be right here with you every step of the way. I know the enemy really well in this situation, so I feel like it can be an asset. But the minute this turns south and I feel like they're going to win, I'm jumping ship.
Double agent. He's a double agent.
Well, that means he's an agent against us, though, Trey. We want loyalty.
Listen, I'm going to be
snake in the grass.
I'm going to be on the winning side of this. Whatever side this is up for grabs. I hope it's you guys. I'm rooting for you. You guys have an early head start right now because Stugotz definitely isn't awake at this point.
You truly are Stugotzian with that take.
Broadcasting 101. Be on the side that pays best.
Think of it this way. Our side has Brett. Their side doesn't.
That's fair.
That's a powerful ally in the war to come.
He puts the size in seismology.
There you go.
And we should probably do actual sports.
Probably.
It's time for
Off the Top
Whether you like it or not, it's just beginning.
with Golic and Wingo.
Well, it is the start of the Masters today, and we couldn't have gotten off to a better start with Masters Week with what happened in the par 3 contest. First of all, Tom Watson at 68. Became the oldest par 3 champion. By the way, no par 3 champion has ever won the Masters, and that will continue because Tom Watson is not playing in the Masters. So, but how about that? At 68, he wins the par 3 contest. And you're thinking, well, that's pretty cool. That's a nice thing that happened. But that was not even the headline from what happened at the par 3 contest. On the 9th hole, Tom was playing with Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus, and Jack let his grandson, GT, who was his caddy, take a swing. He was a pretty good golfer in his own right, 15 years old, wearing sneakers and the caddy overalls, dropped in an ace.
Yeah, he did. It was, and again, the 9th hole, for those that may not know, the 9th hole is the last hole, and that's kind of traditionally the hole where the players will let the caddies tee it up and hit it as well, because he had another grandchild, GT's sister Nina, with him as well. So the caddies were all hitting. And 15 years old, dropped in an ace. And we're gonna play the sound from it in just a little bit. It's incredible.
Yep.
Gary Player basically called it, and Jack Nicklaus called it a few days ago. It's really, really cool stuff. That was really fun to watch. We'll get into another ace that was made that wasn't so fun to watch.
Well, the after effect wasn't so fun.
Yeah. But Tom Watson, and his thought was, I birdied the first 4 holes, and I'm like, no Masters champion. Nobody's ever won the Masters. He's like, I'm not playing. I might as well go ahead and win this thing.
Absolutely.
And he did. He looked great. He's probably thinking halfway through, man, I wish I was playing in this thing, in the Masters.
No kidding. An easy way to not win the Masters is not playing it. So he got rid of that curse angle of this altogether. But an exciting day. This is what we talked about. The par 3, as maligned as it is by the players, superstitiously saying, if you win the par 3, you're not going to win the Masters. Well, we got some good stuff out of it. We got a big moment, and even the most cynical among us in the world of sports can't listen to Jack Nicklaus talk about his grandson and not get caught up in your feels.
You will love this sound. It is fantastic.
What do the kids say? All the feels? All the feels.
All of them.
Big move.
With that
Very
one.
cool.
It was tremendous. Yep. We'll get to that in just a minute.
Off the Top.
Well, the Raptors forced the Celtics into one of their worst offensive games of the season, reducing Toronto's magic number to locking up the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference for the first time to 1. As Toronto absolutely destroyed Boston to take care of business.
Yeah, they did. They're going to be the number 1 seed. Come on. There's a few games left. They're 3 up on Boston. They're going to get that 1 seed. That was the big game. We had just talked about how they had lost the last 3 games to 2 to Cleveland and 1 to Boston. This team that's going to be the number 1 seed. What are they going to do come playoff time when they can't beat these other teams? Boston was a great, after Hayward got hurt, they went on that run. They were playing really well. Now you got Kyrie, having the minor knee surgery. So they're obviously dealing with the injuries. I don't think many are thinking of the Celtics as that team earlier in the season right now going into the playoffs. It's all been on Toronto. Again, they're different this year. Well, I don't know. It seems like when they're playing the Cavaliers, they're the same.
Yeah, no, it seems to snap back to earth.
Yeah.
For Boston, that is tough. It feels like their 1 seed last year, where it feels like a paper 1 seed.
Oh, yeah.
This 2 seed feels about as flimsy, if not worse, because of all the loss of attrition over the course of the season. But the Raptors, some teams just have your number. We talked about this yesterday. That's a difficult thing to overcome, and I didn't see anything last night, especially offensively, for a Celtics team that we know is a good defensive team but is so banged up that Toronto couldn't turn in a better offensive performance, knowing you're going to need the Dogs to go up against a Cleveland team that can definitely score. you're in a tough position.
Here's
I don't think it's a winning one.
Interesting note here with just a few games left. Cleveland and Philadelphia are tied.
Yep.
So that's a 3 and 4 slot. The difference being right now in the 6th slot.
They play tomorrow night, by the way.
The 6th slot is Miami.
Yeah.
And Cleveland and LeBron hasn't gone out, or LeBron hasn't beaten in Miami
in a long time.
So they may be playing Miami, and if they're the 4th seed, you're going to play the 5. The 4-5 looks like it'll be Cleveland or Philly against the Pacers, and that 3 seed would take on Miami the way it's kind of shaken out right now. So we'll see where that ends up.
You know what that would mean, too, is that if they end up as that 4 seed, they'd end up playing Toronto in the second round.
That's exactly right.
And that is the last thing you want if you're the Raptors.
That's for sure.
I'm really curious to see what goes on with Toronto, because they clearly, when they took on Boston, they knew they needed to turn it up, and they did. And the last few times they've tried to take on Cleveland, it has gone the other way. And to your guys' point, how much of this is mental? How much of this is them getting in their own way mentally as opposed to what the matchups actually are on the court?
Off the top.
Listen, I'm all in on this because this is a fascinating start to what is going to be a fascinating story throughout the entire Major League season. Shohei Ohtani did it again. Hit a home run for the 2nd consecutive game, and doing it off reigning AL Cy Young Award winner Corey Kluber in a 3-2 13-inning win over the Indians.
He's the 4th player as Ohtani in the live ball era, that's 1920, to win as a pitcher. He has that win. He starts again on Sunday. And 2 home runs as a hitter in his team's first 7 games. The 3 others, none of those names include Babe Ruth. It's Bronson Arroyo in 2006, Don Newcomb 1955, and Hal Schumacher in 1934.
That's an odd list. That's an odd compilation of names if you really think about it.
Yesterday he was on the list that included Babe Ruth on 2 different lists. And the whole thing about this, we're talking about Shohei Ohtani so much, it was Zach Cozart in the 13th inning hit a walk-off home run.
Right.
God forbid we should mention his name, right?
Oh,
He
yeah.
actually gets the walk-off in the 13th inning to beat the Indians, so we got to give him a little bit of love.
He's getting Sister Jeaned in this situation. It's a tough thing to overcome.
Yeah.
But with Shohei, it's been interesting. He's been great at home in the last couple of games. 4 hits in his first 6 home at-bats for the Angels right now. And Arian, all of this is, again, expectation. We didn't even think he was going to be hitting at this point in the season. And so now I start to wonder, and Trey got mad at me this morning for saying it on First and Last.
I'm mad at you for this.
He got mad at me for this. How much success does he have to have before we finally turn on him? Because people are going to turn on him the minute he falls off. I feel like his god-awful spring, was the best thing that ever happened to this kid early on.
I agree with.
Can't we just enjoy what he's doing before we are?
Yeah.
Can't we use the milk before it gets spoiled?
You know how it is. Yeah, let's enjoy it.
No, it's your fault.
I'm enjoying it.
This is all your fault.
But you know how people are. Oh, let's enjoy it. And then, wait, he's up there. Oh, he's been up there too long. Let's rip him and knock him down.
I'm going to enjoy it until it's not enjoyable anymore. We should be enjoying this. You're already bringing the down, man.
I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
We do seem to build up to tear down.
Listen, I am going to enjoy this all the way through because I don't set these unrealistic expectations, but I saw Giancarlo Stanton get booed in his first home game.
Well, that's just stupid.
I understand
it's stupid.
That's my point, is that we're dealing with stupid.
That's what people do.
Fans in general
I choose
do
not
this
to deal with the stupid.
Well,
okay, I'm going to enjoy this because it's rare and unusual,
I think,
and I'm not going to go down that road.
I'm going to enjoy chocolate.
I think what he's talking about is he's not talking about you. He's talking about how the masses think.
Let's deal with them later. Let's just put things. The idea that Giancarlo Stanton was booed, I get it, but come on, one game, oh my God, he's terrible, and the next home game, what does he do? He hits a 2-run homer.
There were 6 chocolate eggs at the beginning of the show. There is 2 left, and I have not had one.
I've eaten 3.
No, I haven't done the read yet. I'm going to do the read, Stanzik. Relax.
Stanzik, just sit
all
there.
is well.
Remain
calm. It's 6:13. We'll get the dadgum read in. I'm just mad that Junior is bringing us down on Shohei Ohtani already.
With you get mad pretty easily.
Shut up. I don't know what you're talking about.
Guys, you know what happened, though? Shohei Ohtani won the Pacific League MVP last year in Japan.
Yes, he's already had a win as a pitcher and 2 home runs as a hitter. So we'll give him our MVP moment of the week. And it's brought to you by Sport Clips. Check in online at sportclips.com/check-in. And claim your spot today.
Okay. Off the top.
And we continue. Sort of what we were talking about because Junior got me all mad. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Gary Sanchez, the Yankees' 2, 3, and 4 hitters, all hit home runs in a 7-2 win over the Rays.
Not too bad. They all had 1 hit for the game, and it was all a home run. Each had 2 ribbies as well. Yankees 2, 3, 4 hitters all homered in the same game one time last year. It was in September against the Twins. It was Judge, Sanchez, and Didi Gregorius. All hit it, so they did it here. This is more the expectation. Now, 3 of them in a game, I doubt we're going to get all the time, but as we just talked about from yesterday, Is it going to be feast or famine? Something we saw last year and something we wondered if it was going to change this year. And it's very easy in baseball to keep those stats. Are we going to see monster home runs and monster number of strikeouts again? Or is that going to change?
Yeah, you hear Aaron Boone talking about these guys after the game and basically said, I've been telling them you're right on the cusp of clicking. It's all on the cusp of coming together for this group of hitters, especially in the middle of this order. But to the point we talked about the other day with Didi Gregorius is you've got so many guys capable of going off, you don't need this to happen all the time. It'll be fun when it does, but it doesn't need to happen. And Aaron Judge is the perfect mouthpiece for this group because he said, we're not excited about this. We're going out here and doing our jobs. He is the consummate Yankee in this situation. He's got that air of Jeter in the way that he deals with the media and with success that's going to steady the group.
Yeah, listen, there's so many ways they can win as long as they get decent pitching. I mean, it's ridiculous. By the way, those 3 home runs from those 3, Stanton, Judge, and Giancarlo, the home runs travel a combined 1,246 feet, according to StatCast, an average of more than 415 feet. So that's a ridiculous thing. Get used to it. I feel bad for the rest of the American League. Look, the Houston Astros don't care because they beat the Yankees last year and went on to win the World Series. But they're going to be problems for everybody. The question is, will they have enough pitching going forward? But it's going to be fun to watch them bludgeon people all season long in the Bronx. All right, that was off the top. We are Golic and Wingo, and we're going to get back to what we started the show with, which was not our beef with Stugotz. No, we don't have a beef with Stugotz. He has a beef with us. Let's be
exactly right.
I inverted the process. Mm-hmm. I apologize about that. But the thing that we were talking about was the par 3 contest. I mean, I was just watching on the television yesterday. I got misty watching, okay? It was ridiculous watching GT, Jack Nicklaus's 15-year-old grandson, step off the caddy and just take a couple of practice swings and absolutely nail that shot on the 9th hole of the par 3 course and put it in the hole. His first ever hole-in-one. By the way, I'm still looking for my first, let alone at the Masters with my granddad being Jack Nicklaus. And also, you can't put this away, he was with Tom Watson and Gary Player.
Yeah, it was.
So you want to talk about
no pressure, huh?
A pressure-packed environment that this kid came through. And again, here was the call as it happened on ESPN.
He only needs to swing about 120 miles an hour. That's a good speed for him. You're going to love it. Come on back. There's no this. Come on. Go in. Yes.
Listen, all hole-in-ones are cool.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. But when you have one that is rolling the last 20 feet slowly and everybody can see, there's that one hopper in and you're like, oh, my God, a hole-in-one. This one, you got to watch it roll and you see exactly where it's going. So there was even more of a build-up to it. And then to see, those 3 greats, Watson, Player, and Nicklaus.
Thank you.
Celebrating with this 15-year-old and all going nuts over that. It was an incredible sight. It really was.
That'd be like me getting my first pancake block at the age of 15 in the Super Bowl. That's essentially what that kid just accomplished in that moment. It's unbelievable. It's much better than the other ace we saw that day. It was much less catastrophic.
Yeah.
But the generational lines there to get to share that moment is a great thing in all honesty. Jack, after it, was talking glowingly about that. Glowingly about his grandson and where it ranks in the all-time realm of his accomplishments and what he's been a part of.
And just for those of you that didn't see it on TV, the reaction of Player and Watson was unbelievable.
Really was.
Jack could barely keep it together. So you heard a little bit there. That was Andy North and Curtis Strange and Sean McDonough on the actual call. This was the sound just of Gary Player when he thought, because he hit it just right at the hole where the hill was, and Gary's like, that has a chance.
Oh, GT, you're going to love that. You're going to love it. There it comes. This guy right in the hole, my man. In the hole.
Great, good stuff.
How about that?
How about
awesome. Gary calling it as soon as he hit it? He said, you're going to love it. As soon as it lands on the green, he says, that's going in the hole, my man.
That's very cool.
You see that pine cone it almost hit?
Yeah.
That was inches from being a completely different story, all because of some woodland debris. I would have been furious.
Woodland debris.
By the way, the reason all those guys can be so happy for a 15-year-old kid, because what's the one thing that adults we like to see less and less? Kids that are way better than us at stuff.
Yeah.
They can all be happy because they've already got aces on the resume. That's the thing, is I look at this now and I go, that's great. Where's mine?
Don't have one.
Don't have one on the resume. My grandma Jan, mom's mom, 3 hole-in-ones on her resume.
You're right.
And I guarantee she wouldn't give me one, and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic. By the way, Stanzik just told me he has 2 holes in one. And
what?
Now I'm very depressed.
Really?
You have 2?
Yeah, 2 year apart, July 4th, 2 years in a row.
No way.
You are a Yankee Doodle dandy, Stanzik.
Trey,
I
think I asked you this. What's the closest you ever got?
Oh, I've got like a foot. Oh no! I almost bounced. I bounced one over the cup, and then I missed the birdie putt, which was just the worst. It was like 3 feet away. I was terrible. Yeah, it was in front of a pro too, not Jack Nicklaus, but like a club pro, and I totally bought it.
Is that why? Because how close was it to the pin? Because my point is because we brought this up. Allie had the same story on First and Last this morning. She missed a hole-in-one by about 6 inches, and then she said she missed the birdie putt after the fact. And I said, what group of monsters were you playing in where that wasn't a gimme after?
Yeah, that's true.
I would not even have dreamed of touching that ball. That's in the pocket, and I am muttering on to the next hole.
That's fair. Although I wanted to. First of all, I mean, as soon as I hit it, Brian said, "Oh, that's really good," and it went right over the hole and rolled about 3 feet past, and then I totally.
Oh, that's a shame because you want the natural bird.
Of course, you want that. I can't have nice things.
No,
that's the way it happened.
Can't.
But you know who can have nice things? Jack, 6 Masters, and this was him talking to Tom Rinaldi afterwards.
Curtis Strange stopped you on your way past the booth and asked you how you would rank what you just saw from GT.
Number 1. You know, what I did didn't make any difference to me. I can't talk. Watching your grandson do something was pretty special. And I got a few tears. And we talked about 3 days ago. And I said, GT, do you want to hit the ball in 9? He said, sure. I said, well, I think you're going to make a hole-in-one. That's what I told him 3 years ago. He said, okay. He's never made a hole-in-one. That's his first hole-in-one. Pretty special, wasn't it? Very special.
Jack barely keeping it together.
Oh, incredible.
Just great.
He's got 22 grandkids, and he wanted to, over the years, make them all part of the par 3. He doubled up yesterday, as we talked about GT, and GT's sister, Nina, was also there. She was taking some hits as well, but just a very cool family moment and a very, very proud. You know, at that point, he wasn't Jack Nicklaus. He was a proud grandpa.
Yeah, and the great thing about that is GT is Gary Nicklaus's son.
Right.
And Gary was on Jack's bag at the actual Masters in 1986 when he came back on Sunday to win his 6th and final green jacket in his 18th major. And there's a great clip on YouTube out there where on 16, which is a par 3, Jack took a little 3/4 5-iron and hit it close. And as the ball's in the air, Gary said, "Be the right club." Jack turns to him and says, "It is." Let it within 2 feet, and he made the birdie putt. Just fantastic stuff. So congratulations. That's why we love the Masters, and we can't wait. First round action going to get going at Augusta in a couple of hours from now. All right, coming up, we were supposed to talk to Johnny Manziel later on today, but things sort of fell through because, well, he made some news yesterday. And I see it differently than a lot of people or what Johnny had to say. We'll get into that.
Golic
and Wingo.
And Wingo.
Mm-hmm. Trey Wingo and Mike Golic Sr.
So we were supposed to have Johnny Manziel.
Yes, we were.
On the show today, and for a variety of reasons, apparently.
Let's not say a variety of reasons. Yeah. He went on Dan Patrick's show yesterday. He sounded idiotic in what he said and decided not to do any more media. Is there anything more? Seriously. I mean,
that's not what we were told.
We can be told what we want. You want my opinion? He
Yes.
stuck his foot in his mouth, and basically his people said, all right, you're not going on anything else because we don't need that anymore. That's my take.
I understand that.
Okay.
So for what Manziel said that got people like you up in arms was he said, look, if Cleveland had done their homework, they would have known that I was not a guy that was big into film, and they probably shouldn't have taken me if they had done their homework. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have zero problem with that.
Okay.
Zero.
Fine.
Because he's right. He's absolutely right. Now, you can make the case. Here's the exact quote. If Cleveland did any of their homework, they would have known I wasn't a guy who came in every day and watched film. I wasn't a guy who really knew the X's and O's of football. So that was the quote. And people are now saying, like you, oh, Johnny Manziel is blaming the Browns. I don't think that's what he was doing. I think he was being honest, and people took it a certain way.
Well, but he was blaming the Browns. Partly. You can't say he wasn't. He's partly saying this is the Browns' fault. Forgetting even that, whether you like him saying he was honest, and I know people out there are like, well, we want our guys to be honest. You know what? No. Every now and then, whether it's not a lie, just don't say anymore. Let me give you this example, okay? You are a big shot coming out of college. In the media world, you get a job at a highfalutin station, right? And it doesn't work out for you. You don't do well. And you get fired, okay?
Yep.
And then you want to make a comeback. And in your making a comeback, if you start out at smaller networks or whatever and to try and build yourself back up, someone does a story on you and you say, you know what? That station, they should have known. I didn't watch sports.
Yeah.
I didn't really write things. I didn't really do anything well.
That's fair.
Why would you want to say that? Yeah, whether it's true or not, why would you want to say that when you're trying to get back into the league?
You're exactly right there.
That's only my point.
There are 2 points to this. Number one, should he have said it? Probably not, knowing the contest.
Point. Right.
It's the same reason why I don't think Baker Mayfield should be doing this webisode, because it just confirms some confirmation bias for people. But if you really look at what he said, he's absolutely correct. And then he went on to clarify it. He said, draft a quarterback in the first, and this is on Johnny on Twitter now. Draft a quarterback in the first round and put him into a toxic quarterback room versus what it was like my second year with McCown. Completely different situation. It's all about the right fit, and mine in Cleveland wasn't right. That's just the facts. I also have nobody to blame but myself.
Yeah.
And I think this would have been much better if he had started that thing with Dan and said, look, I have nobody to blame but myself. However,
listen,
I'm just not giving the Browns the benefit of the doubt. They've won one game in the last 2 years. They have botched this 100 times over.
We're getting into things I agree with you with about.
Don't do that, because that's bad for radio.
Should they have known about this? But where I disagree with you is don't say it.
Yeah.
Why are you're trying to get back in a job where you just admitted publicly to everyone you didn't give a damn? Okay, and now I know there's this redemption story where now all of a sudden you do, and you're out of the league, and now you had your issues off the field, and you're making a comeback. Everybody likes a good redemption story, but you know what? You can filter what you say, and here he didn't, and it comes off. Listen, I wasn't going to take the guy anyway, but that's just me. But I'm not running a team. Maybe there's a team out there. People are putting him with New England, in certain situations.
Good luck with that.
No shot, I think, on that. But regardless, he's trying to get back in the league, and he has every right to try and get back in the league. And the main thing is I hope he gets his personal life squared away, which he seems to be going in the right direction. At least that's what we hear, getting married and the whole deal. But, man, you did not need to offer that up. So I completely understand why all of a sudden he's not on our show, or not. I guarantee he ain't going to be anywhere else, is because they're like, okay, you need to not talk anymore and just let your play do your talking from now on, because even though you may have meant it a certain way, it was really your fault, and you're just explaining the situation and how it came out, but it doesn't look good and doesn't sound good.
It didn't sound good.
Right.
I think that's the most important thing. And that part I agree with you, but see, this is the dilemma we get in all the time. What do we always say? We just want people to be honest with us. And then he's honest with us, and they're like, I can't believe you said that. So I feel like we put people, we being the collective media, which I hate using, by the way, at times – We expect people to do this, and when they do it, they're like, I can't believe you said that. No,
there's honesty, and they're saying it the right way. That second thing you read, that was honest.
Yes.
And if he had just said that, that's cool. And it was honest.
Yeah.
What he said about the Browns should have known, and just really letting everybody, we kind of knew he wasn't very well prepared.
That was obvious.
When you're reading your playbook on the plane going to Vegas, we kind of knew that, but you hate hearing the guy say it. It's like another subject we're going to talk about, in college football.
We will.
Where you know about it, it all happens, but when you hear it, it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. My issue is I have no problem with him being honest about the situation with Cleveland, because let's be honest, Cleveland, I've said this before, and look, I think GM John Dorsey has turned the page, and I think they're actually doing the right things now. It has to translate into wins, but I think they're actually, to quote his phrase, getting real players now, which is what they were doing, which was what they weren't doing before. But again, I'll go back to every quarterback drafted in the first round by the Cleveland organization with a myriad of different player personnel guys, head coaches, and GMs. They've never gotten it right.
Yeah.
From Tim Couch to Brady Quinn to Brandon Whedon to Johnny Manziel.
And let me say, we got a quick tweet that says, but didn't Johnny call the Browns and tell them he was their guy? That's the other side of this. And my son Mike was talking about it this morning, because he went through the whole, it wasn't around when I was getting ready for the NFL. It's around now, these places that you go to work out. Yes, Johnny did that. Your job when you go to those places, that place's job is to prepare you for the drills that you need to know and how to handle talking to people. How, and the most important thing, how do you hide your weaknesses? So you don't study film. You don't know X's and O's. Well, come out and show your personality. That's what Johnny Manziel does. He's showing his personality. I'm your guy. You want to draft me. He's doing all of that to talk around the fact that he didn't know X's and O's. He didn't study his playbook. Do something new. What did he do in his pro day? He put his shoulder pads on. Nobody puts their shoulder pads on and throws at pro day.
And camo shorts.
Do all these things to, hey, look at this over here, and don't realize I don't study film or I don't know X's and O's. So he did what people do. You hide as best you can your weaknesses and hope who's ever going to hire you doesn't figure them out.
Which, again, I put squarely on Cleveland.
That part of it I put
squarely on them.
Yeah,
they had to figure this thing out.
Cleveland has a horrible track record, so it's not like you can defend them anymore. This is all about Johnny. This isn't about Cleveland. This is about Johnny.
What have we? Well, it's a little bit about Cleveland. This is what we said about the entire time. What is the pre-draft process? It's two different things for what side you're on. If you're a player, all you're trying to do is increase your market value. That's all you're trying to do. If you're the team, you're trying to get as much information as possible. So on that level, I give Johnny all the credit in the world for putting himself in the best position to be drafted, and the onus is on the team to make sure they do their homework. And whether you agree with how he said or not, he's absolutely right in that they clearly didn't. Now, he's not helping himself.
No.
He's not helping himself by saying it now, but that's on them as much as it is on Johnny.
Golic.
I tell you what, a great sports night last night, no doubt about it.
And Wingo.
What a day, what a show, what a time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, Mike Golic here. Support for the Golic Wingo podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you're confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you that same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Mikes. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Sport Clips presents Haircut Highlight Reels featuring Rick.
Hey everyone.
Let's roll the highlights. There goes Rick, stepping up to a championship haircut experience. Oh, he checked in online, so he's posting up at the front of the line. Did you see that? Rick threw down for the legendary MVP experience. Hairstyle, beard trimmed. What a dominating performance.
I really didn't do much.
Be a champion like Rick. Get in line online at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
Speaking of showing us the way, it's that time. It's that time to delve. All right. Is he there? Is he on camera, or is he just is he hiding behind a microphone?
I am not on camera today. There's no need for a TV crew here because they keep running re-airs of your show instead of ours.
It's not our call.
Oh, wow. They
call.
finally smartened up.
Okay, so hold on. Before we go down that rabbit hole, we need to go down the rabbit hole that apparently we are being sucked into. Yeah. So Stugotz from the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is here, and apparently somebody on your show is angry at us for something.
Well, no, the Stugotz Army, listen, I can't control them, okay? They go, like their leader, they go in any direction they want to go. They won't be led. They don't understand instructions. And so I can't control this Army, what they're upset about, guys. And listen, I've tried to merge these shows, and they know how great Golic's been to me. And Trey, I said yesterday, I'm not certain I want to wage war with this particular show because I'm starting to like Trey Wingo a bit. We got a lot in common.
Oh, joy!
No, we do. Listen, we got a lot in common, you and I.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we love golf, we love the NFL draft, and we love money.
Yes.
I mean, we got a lot in common.
That is the tri-spear bond that bring people together right there.
Right,
that's the triumvirate.
So what's the issue?
What is the deal?
I think they're upset because they have grown to like watching the simulcast of our show. They like watching it on TV, and they're upset that we've been bumped 2 consecutive days here for re-airs of Golic and Wingo.
That's not it.
I think that's what I heard. Trey, I'm telling you, I think that's the root of everything.
All right. First off, then you're right. Your Army, has some issues. Because
I agree.
We have no control over that. So I'd rather there be a battle over something that we supposedly did, and supposedly we stole some of your guys' material. Is that another thing they're mad about?
Maybe there's that. Listen, okay, they're very petty. okay? All of them, okay? Just like me. They are petty. So it could be that. It could be being bumped for, re-airs of Golic and Wingo on ESPN News, stolen material. Yeah, stuff like that. I love what you guys are doing, though. Like, take big hacks, man. Take big hacks.
Can I ask now, are your hamstrings getting tight at all from this backpedaling that you're all of a sudden doing?
No, not at all. And Mike, listen, I gotta be honest, a lot of people are upset that you have refused to deliver and pay off your bet with Levitard and give me a massage. I mean, it starts there.
I'm with you 100% there. He absolutely has to do this.
And by the way, you and your wife are going to get a nice stay at the spa.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yes.
So now what about, we heard it was about word origins, like all of a sudden,
etymology.
Dan wants to always ask at times about the origin of a word, like that was invented there. So if we tried to do something like Brettology.
I ain't gonna say it.
That all of a sudden we're like the bad guy stealing material because you did something that nobody else has done on radio.
Yeah, it's ours. Much like LeBron James, who owns, he is the owner of all barbershop conversations. We own that thing, man. So leave it alone. Listen, there's copyright stuff there. We're very upset. Pay me some royalties.
That's what I said. We are, the Golic and Wingo is Nick Saban, and you guys are LeBron. So what about this feud, this thing going on with Cliff, our board op, who we have to back our guy? What's going on there?
Cliff, we're crying out loud! Again, trying to merge these shows, okay, and bring people from your show onto our show. And so I stole one of Cliff's takes about Jay Wright going to the Sixers.
I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. And because I thought it was a good take. I think it's a smart, and I think it's a good take, and it's based on no facts. And that's that's how I like to roll. And so I figured Cliff may be a soldier here in the Stugotz Army. And so I decided to give him a big chance to come on our show and, deliver a funny line or two. And Cliff totally blew it. I went to bat for Cliff, tried to give Cliff a voice. And then we brought him on the show, trying to make him a star, and he blows it, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
That's not on me. That's on Cliff.
That's your side of this story. Cliff, would you like to give equal time here? What's your side of the story?
First of all, I'll never be part of Stugotz Army. I'm my own man. I don't do that.
All right.
Well, your Jay Wright take was awful then.
No, you stole my high take then.
Okay, what's the issue, Cliff? He says
Cliff,
you came
on Mike.
Mike,
that is a badge of honor, Cliff. Wear it as such, okay? If I steal your take, man, that's like, wear that as a badge of honor, man.
Okay.
I steal Golic's takes all the time. He doesn't care.
All right, so Stu is saying you came on their show and you absolutely blew it. What is the reason?
I didn't blow it. I got set up by Mikey C and by Stugotz. I think it was an inside job. I was bamboozled. Yes.
Listen. I want to tell you something, Cliff. If you think I'm pulling any of the strings on this show, you're out of your mind. Okay?
He's pulling all the strings, Cliff.
All right.
I hear Levitard in the background just baiting everything going back and forth.
Hey, Stugotz, one thing I have to ask, if there ever got, and listen, I'm with you. Now we're on the same TV station as well. We try and have some fun with these two shows. If there ever was a all-out battle between these two shows, what position would my son take, who is now part of this show for at least an hour every day? He's hosted a Levitard show when Dan hasn't been there. You and him did Weekend Observations for a long time. You're going to do a podcast as well.
Is that over? Weekend Observations is no more?
It's going to go to a podcast.
Okay, good.
I told Mike if there was a battle, he had to take your Stugotz Army shirt and burn it on air.
Oh, man. You know what? Let me do this, guys, because I have the entire shipping container right here. Let me ask them, guys. We know Mike Golic Jr. pretty well. Mike Ryan, I'll start with you. Mike Golic Jr., is he taking his dad's side? Is he going with Golic and Wingo, or is he going with us? I think he's going with us.
Oh, he's going with us.
All day.
By the way,
all day, every day.
By the way,
that's Roy saying all day, every day.
Can I just tell you something, Stugotz?
Yeah.
You have a turncoat in your organization.
Uh-oh.
I want to tell you that right now because I have inside information from someone on your staff who texts me about what really went on with Cliff.
And she's on my side.
And that person.
Oh, no!
Oh! You just gave it away.
I wonder who it could be.
Cliff, you're an idiot. Okay? You're an idiot. And now I'm on Stugotz's side.
I was trying to tell you about Cliff, Trey. I've been trying to tell
okay, just so you know, when we give away spies, we stay neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
It's they, it, said person.
Not her.
You are just.
There's one her on
awful.
that show, and
Listen,
it's Allison.
Trey,
you're awful.
Trey,
you're
I'm not a journalist.
You're
the closest thing we have to a journalist, Trey, on either of the. Well, Dan is, I guess, or he used to be. But Trey, he just gave up his source. That's what he did. He revealed his source.
You're terrible.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Let me explain how this works.
Yeah.
Can't believe Fat Chris did that.
Let me explain how anonymity works, okay? You don't want to give anything away so that person will be discovered, especially when we're getting the inside information.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
We're going to have to work on that. We're talking to Stugotz at the Dan Le Batard Show about the possible beef, a couple of different with the shows. We'll get everything ironed out. One thing I think, Stu, we can all agree on is we all love the Masters. I think you and Trey a little more than everybody else. But how about yesterday with the hole-in-one, the joyous one by a 15-year-old and the other by a golfer who then dislocates his ankle?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, and the way he put that thing right back in with no hesitation. I mean,
that was freaky, man.
It was weird, crazy. And Mike, I heard you talk. He happens to be a very good athlete. Like, he's a great basketball player, was a great soccer player, and obviously a really good golfer. So
not so good at the running, though.
Not so good at not so good at sticking the landing thing, Trey. I think he was running fine, and then he jumped a little bit and tried to turn around, and he didn't stick the landing very well. Listen, it's such an exciting day, and yesterday, Trey, that's why we love this tournament, right? I mean, we love Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of course, but all the small little events leading up to it. Tiger and Phil in their practice round, then yesterday with Jack's grandson, his only swing of the day, his first hole-in-one, and Jack saying, that was a better moment than any of the 6 green jackets that he won. It's the best moment he's ever had at Augusta. Trey, that's why we love this thing.
It's amazing. Stugotz, let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being at whatever and 10 being full Rinaldi weeping, where were you when you saw it? Where were you on that scale, on the weepometer, I guess, the sobometer, when you saw that hole-in-one go in?
I mean, goosebumps for sure.
Yeah.
No, it was like straight to 10, like 10. That was it. That's awesome. About as good a moment. Do you believe Jack, though? Do you believe him when he says that? I guess because in the moment he's saying that's the greatest moment I've ever had. And I will tell you, watching my kids play sports is far more rewarding than when I was actually playing myself. So maybe he is. Do you believe that, Trey, that moment was better than winning a 6 green jacket?
Well, I think at this point, absolutely. I mean, look, the day my son played in his first college football game and had the block that let the guy in for the touchdown on his first drive, I was a mess.
Well, listen, I get asked all the time,
Yeah.
cause playing, when you play, did you get more joy out of playing?
See, we don't have that side of it.
I know, your kids play.
Stugotz only have one side of it.
It's easy. It's watching your kids play, and then you get down to the grandkids. Again, Jack has 22 grandkids. He tried to get them over the years, all involved in the par 3. GT gets the hole-in-one. The 15-year-old, his sister Nina, is there caddying as well. It was an incredible moment, and that's what we're hoping for out of this tournament, Stugotz. So we're asking everybody as well, Sunday, to you, what's the dream final 2 pairings that you hope happens?
Oh, the final 2 pairings. Wow. It's interesting, guys, because, the way I experience and watch the Masters, and Trey, I do wonder, and I'll answer your question in just a second, if you do it this way, is you just let the first round kind of play out and see where everyone's positioned. Yeah. And then I've tried to explain to Dan, because Dan's not a huge golf fan, although he'll be intrigued this weekend because Tiger's coming back. I've tried to tell Dan and explain to Dan that even if your favorite golfer, let's say, for me, it's Phil Mickelson. If Mickelson is pulling, I want Mickelson to win. I'm telling you that on the front end. But if he gets too far ahead of the field, Trey, on Friday or Saturday, you're actually rooting for your favorite golfer, to put up a bogey or a double bogey to bring himself back closer to the field so you have an exciting Sunday, right?
Give me the drama. I want the drama.
Right.
That's what I want to see. But it's weird. But that's why Tiger is so different, because when he bludgeoned the field in 1997, I was all in on every single stroke. When he did the same thing at the U.S. Open, when he was 12 under and second place was 3 over, it was still riveting. But anybody else, it just doesn't work that way. You're exactly right. I want to see, again, we've talked about this before, I want to see 2 young guys in the final group, and I want to see Tiger and Phil in the second to last group and have this generational war going on in the back 9 Sunday at Augusta. That's my dream scenario.
Yeah, it'd be great. So I'm going to, man, how can you not be rooting for Tiger and Phil? That would be... All right, so I'll just choose 4 golfers here. I'll go Tiger and Phil, I guess, in that final pairing, and then I'll go 2 of the young guys, just like Trey. I'll go Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth. We forget that a year ago, right at this time, Dustin Johnson was an overwhelming favorite to win the Masters, and I happen to think he's going to be the guy that wins it again this year.
Oh, you do? I was just going to say, he's the one of the top.
No one's
players.
talking about him.
No one is talking about him.
Yeah, and Trey, if you look at the stats, you look at his stats, I can't remember the exact stat, but he is top 5 in 5 of the most important categories on tour. And any guy who's done that headed into the Masters has actually won the Masters. There's only been like 3 or 4 guys who have done it, and they've ended up winning the green jacket. So we'll see. We'll see. But listen, when your worst case scenario, this is the beauty of this particular tournament this year. Like your worst case scenario final pairing might be like a Jason Day and a Bubba Watson.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Stugotz, is how do you deal with it with your wife? In I know she likes you to do errands and chores and all that kind of thing. How do you get around that this weekend?
This is my weekend, Mike.
And she understands that.
She totally understands it. We, Trey, I feel bad for you guys. I heard you talking about wanting to play golf. And Mike, by the way, I mean, listen, you can go to the range all weekend if you want. It's not going to improve your game on Monday.
Whoa.
No, Mike, I say that lovingly because I tell my dad all the time. My dad used to be a very good golfer. My dad's like 75, 76. He doesn't play nearly as much. And he'll come out, after not playing for 2 or 3 months, he'll come out with me, and he'll hit a bad shot and start throwing clubs and stuff. You got a bad temper. And I'm like, Dad, you got to play this game every single day to get good at it. Am I wrong, Trey?
No, you're exactly right. I hate people that go out there and Golic doesn't take it seriously, which is great.
No, I don't care.
But people that go out there and play like once every 3 months and are ticked off when they don't hit the door. I'm like, dude, put in a little effort. Let's do the work. That's how you get the reward.
That's my point. I'm like, Dad, you can't get upset at yourself. You haven't picked up a club in 3 months.
No, I just pop another beer. That's all.
There you go. So Mike, to answer your question, yes, the wife, she knows I love this week, and she actually loves watching Saturday and Sunday as well. So we are off tomorrow. The show is off tomorrow. And listen, I apologize.
This is a win for you, okay? You're off tomorrow.
I blame this.
And the show is off tomorrow completely?
Wait, you blame us for bumping you on re-airs, but you're off tomorrow?
Listen, the show is off tomorrow.
That's such a win. That's such a win.
Trey, aren't you off tomorrow?
But I got to do something else. So
that's true.
The show isn't off.
What do you got to do? Watch the Masters? What are you going to do?
It's a long story. It's a long,
all right,
convoluted story.
Let me end with this. I love how you guys do the lookalikes on your show. Yeah. Who somebody looks like, I love the explanations of those. So Tucker tweeted in of somebody you look like, and it's very good.
All right.
Stugotz looks like the evil, money-hungry villain in a Disney movie that gets outsmarted and caught by a team of kid detectives.
Well, it certainly sounds the part.
That's very good, though.
By the way, that just sounds like every episode of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I would have gotten away for it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Oh, my God, did you just hate yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what we do.
Listen, there's no getting around that one, but the best part is you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Of course I did, yes. My laughter dated myself, yes.
Dated himself all through high school.
But again, I want to make sure I get to the bottom of this whole thing. Yeah. Is it more about the fact that for reasons beyond our control that we have nothing to do with, our show has been on and yours hasn't, or is it because Dan believes he invented the origin of words discussion?
I think it's a combination of all those things, and I just happen to have an army who's just looking to fight at all times, and it's been a minute since I fought. And
Scrappy.
So they look at, it's like Dan Patrick wasn't enough, and, Rich Eisen wasn't enough, and, Michael Wilbon wasn't enough. They wanted to fight, and I guess you guys are next, but that's up to me. So I'll get back to you on this. I love you guys. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to have a fight. I want to be cohesive with your show, but Cliff is making that problematic.
Cliff, for crying out loud! That may be one of the best ones of all time.
Awesome.
It's right up there with
hello.
And
you play to win the game.
Cliff, for crying out loud! It all makes sense.
Fantastic.
It all makes perfect sense.
All right, Stu, enjoy the weekend, man.
All right, guys. Trey, enjoy the Masters, man.
Enjoy your off day.
I will, Trey. I'll be playing golf while watching it on my iPad. Have a good day.
We're getting 3 to 6 inches of snow Saturday, so good for you.
They're mad at us for bumping them our ears, and they're off tomorrow.
So that makes more sense than the whole Levitard invented the study of the origin of words.
Yeah.
Golic and Wingo.
It was all sort of one big giant Jell-O mold.
It's very interesting where that went.
Andy, good morning. First of all, before we get into today, you were part of that par 3 call on GT yesterday, Nicholas. That had to be so epically cool to watch in person.
Well, it was, I've known GT since he's a little guy, and he's really worked himself into being a nice player. I mean, this kid's going to be a really good player, and happened to have dinner with him Tuesday night, and he was all excited about going out there and caddying for his grandfather, but to get a chance to hit a shot and then do what he did was absolutely amazing. I can't imagine if that's the Wednesday of this week, what the rest of the week is going to end up being. It's going to be absolutely electric. And talking to Jack afterwards, he said that that GT and Gary, his dad, sat around and talked about, GT, do you want to hit this shot on Friday? And he says, on the 9th hole, he says, oh, absolutely I do. And they started talking about, wouldn't that be cool if I made a hole-in-one, that kind of thing. But is that unbelievable? I mean, they actually talked about it, and then he did it. That's pretty cool.
It is incredible. Let's talk for a second about the other hole-in-one and how it affects this guy's tournament. Tony Finau, an actual golfer out there, who had the high of the hole-in-one and then the low of celebrating running down the fairway and dislocating his ankle, popping it back in. He's going to have an MRI, supposed to tee off after noon at this point, like 12:42. What is his status, if you know?
Well, he did have the MRI, and it looked pretty good, and so he's going to go ahead and play. Obviously he'll be taped up really tight. The way he reacted, it surely looked like to me that this has happened before to him. But having done some of those kind of things, I can't imagine there's not some ligament damage or something in there. But that was amazing to watch, and how calmly he reacted to it. Was amazing. But he's going to go out there and give it a whirl today. And, hitting the shots, trying to finish on your left foot, that's not the easy thing to do. And then walking this golf course is really tough. There's so many hills. So we'll see if he can get it done. It's first year here. It'd be a shame if he couldn't play.
Two-time U.S. Open champion Andy North with us as we're previewing the 2018 Masters. Yeah, the weirdest thing about Finau is he's like, I'll pop it back in, no problem.
Well, to Andy's point, I bet it has happened before, kind of subluxing, they call it, where it pops out, and the easier you can pop it back in, probably been happening.
Yeah, that was crazy. So now let's go on to one of the things that obviously is going to drive the eyeballs of this tournament. He does it whenever he plays, hasn't been here since 2015. That would be Tiger Woods. As you're watching his first round, which teeing off in about an hour and 40 minutes from now, what do you want to see from him on this golf course that you haven't seen in any of the run-up tournaments yet?
Well, I think the biggest thing for Tiger is that he has to get off to a good start today. If all his Thursday's rounds here in the history at Augusta, he's only shot in the 60s one time. So if he shoots 70 or 71, I don't think it's time to panic. But I think he needs to get off to a good start. With all these players that are coming here playing so well, all these top guys that we've talked about all week long, 2 or 3 of them are going to play well. So you can't get 6 or 7 shots behind after the first day. So I think it's going to be important for him to get off to a nice start. He struggles driving the ball in the first fairway. I think to start right out, can he put it in the first fairway? If he does that, maybe that's a good sign.
With the weather the way it is and going to be, what type of golfer is it going to favor for today and through this tournament?
Well, all these guys deal with this stuff all the time, Mike. The first 2 days look like it's going to be pretty nice. Saturday is supposed to be miserable, rain all day, and then Sunday is going to be cold and windy. So, guys have to deal with all these different varying conditions every single week. It's going to come down to that group of guys. We may have an outlier, but I can't imagine that you won't have the winner out of the 10 or 12 players that we've been talking about all week long. They're all playing great. They all come in here with a lot of confidence. And the fact that the young group has not seen Tiger and Phil play like this for a while, that's going to be exciting. If we could get those guys in the mix, we could have an unbelievable Sunday.
Andy North with us from Augusta as we're talking about the Masters, which is underway, round 1. Of course, we'll have it later on today, ESPN 3 o'clock. And the first hour you can get on our ESPN or the Masters YouTube channel as well. Andy, to your point, when you talk about all these Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler and Jordan and Justin, now Tiger and Phil, we had Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus on earlier this week, and they both sort of said the same thing that you're talking about. This may be, because of how many players that are playing so well right now, this may be one of the Masters' most exciting 4 days we've seen in a long, long time. Do you think, because we're all hyping it up, do you think it can live up to the billing?
Well, it's set up that way.
Yeah.
What happens, you've been around enough golf that it's ridiculous. Whatever you think's going to happen usually doesn't.
Right.
Typically watching what happened yesterday, a 68-year-old win the par 3 and a 78-year-old finish in third. I mean, with his grandkid knocking in an ace on the 9th hole. So anything can happen out here. But I really do think that this is, to me, has the most excitement of any Masters going back to maybe 10 or 12 years ago when we had that stretch where Phil and Tiger and Ernie and Retief and VJ were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the world, and they all came in here with wins a couple of years, that looked like they would be amazing. But you never know. Mike Weir jumps in and wins, or you can't tell. But the conditions are going to be really good the first 2 days, and I think where the weekend might go, it's going to be important to get yourself in the mix after 36 holes. holes. You don't want to be trying to make up shots, I think, on the weekend.
So take us on the course inside the ropes where we can't go. And if you start to play this tournament,
that's like 30 feet. we can get out there. We can get out there, Michael.
I guarantee I'd get kicked out. So for those
he's wearing jorts.
For those that are golfing, if your first few holes are somewhere in that first round, Andy, it starts to not go well. You're not hitting well for a few shots, for a few holes. How difficult or easy, and I'm sure it's not easy, for a golfer, and every sport's different, is it to get back in line of where you need to be?
Well, I think, that's where the experience comes into play. We talk about this is a golf course, the experience really matters, particularly here. But we all learn how to deal with our problems. If you hit it to the left the first 3 or 4 swings, you're probably swinging at it a little bit too hard or too fast or whatever. You figure out at some point in time what you need to do to fix your game. And that's the most important thing. You see these instructors with the players all the time. In my opinion, the most important thing an instructor can do is get his player to understand his golf swing, his golf game, so he can fix it under pressure. He can figure out a way when, on those days you don't have it, to be able to scrape it around and make 70 or 71 on those bad days. So you just hear, you got to not panic. I mean, I know I've had weeks here where I bogeyed the first hole, hit it down in the creek on the second hole, made an 8, and now you're way behind the 8 ball before you even get started. But you just have to keep playing along. And it's as simple as your coach has told you. It's one play at a time. It's one shot at a time. Take this one, get it done properly, and move on to the next one. That's what you've got to do. It's hard. It takes patience, but that's where the experience really makes a big difference.
Andy North with us on Golic and Wingo from Augusta National as we're talking about the Masters. It is underway. We're all excited. What you just said, when he was in his prime, no one was better at that than Tiger. No one was better at squeezing a 69 out what should have been a 74. I mean, people forgot in the Masters that he won his first as a pro, he went out in 40 on the front nine, came home in 30, which was ridiculous. Yeah. So to that point, he's going to have to hit a lot of drivers on this course. He's been hitting a lot of irons off tees at other events. The most pressure-packed swing we've seen out of Tiger since he's been playing well this year was on the 16th hole at Bay Hill. He was within 1, par 5, easiest hole on the course, yanks it to hell and back out of bounds. How much pressure is going to be on Tiger's driver specifically to keep him in play this week?
Well, I think if we look at the big picture here, one, to answer your question, he's going to have to drive the ball reasonably well. Particularly on a handful of holes. There's certain driving holes you have to put the ball in the fairway. There's some others you can put it in the rough, and there's a lot of these holes the players actually try to put it so far in the right or left edge of the fairway. You get an angle, sometimes they put it in the rough. That's not that big a deal on holes like that. But I think if you look at Tiger's driving, it's improved every single week. I know he tweaked the shaft in his drive and his 3-wood over the last couple of weeks. He feels a little bit more comfortable. I know at Bay Hill he's having some trouble getting enough spin on his driver, and it was knuckling a little bit, and that may be what happened on that 16th hole where he's trying to hit a cut, and he nailed it, but he just pulled it, and it didn't cut at all. So I think he's improving. And this is a golf course that he's played it so much, and he understands how to play it, and he loves the sight lines that if you get up on holes that you've driven the ball well on in the past, you're probably going to figure out some way to do it again. So I'm not as concerned about it as a lot of people.
All right, Andy, we know you have a SportsCenter hit coming up, but I know you also picked Rory McIlroy to win. So why?
Well, I think a couple of things. We saw at Bay Hill, his putter was unbelievable. Probably the best he's putted in a long, long time. And he drives the ball unbelievably well. Carries in the air a long, long ways, and he very easily can hit it from right to left. That really works well here.
No better storyteller for a rain delay in the U.S. Open than Andy North. He's got them all. You're the best, brother.
Thanks,
Good
Andy.
talking to you. We'll talk to you soon,
Thanks,
man.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Golic and Wingo.
Let's not expect too much. There's only one person out there that's expecting way too much out of this guy too early. We know who that is. It's his father.
Winning at sports and at sports broadcasting means changing things up.
Just like La Quinta Inns and Suites is changing up their look.
A renovated lobby that's so contemporary it even makes Golic look cool.
Yes, it does. And a totally updated fitness center that even has Wingo feeling like a workout.
I'm ripped. Plus plenty of comfortable spaces to hang out.
Yep, this La Quinta look definitely has a vibe of victory.
So you can just relax, refresh, and get ready for your next big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com. It's nicely done, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another edition of Love It or Shove It, brought to you by Grainger.
Yes!
It's time for another edition of Love It or Shove It.
That didn't go well.
With Golic and Wingo.
In case you, for those watching on
What's
ESPN
up, boys?
News, if you didn't know, we were brought to you by Grainger.
Yes, we are.
Bubba is decked out in a Grainger shirt, Grainger hat. Is that a Grainger towel? What is that?
Yeah, it's
It's a
flag,
band,
like a
band
flag banner.
Okay. Yeah. Why not? So
you love Grainger.
Grainger
Grainger loves you.
Grainger pens.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a national spokesperson. You kind of just get a lot of free stuff. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but I know it. So, yeah.
I don't think anybody has embraced their role on this show.
Really has.
Bubba.
Oh, yeah. They just got great stuff.
You know why
Established 1927. Good year.
You know I love more now because he's really taking to jumping on you. He used to jump on me all the time, and because you, Trey, have taken a pretty simple thing, and you either love it or shove it, and you've gone somewhere in between.
There's context to everything.
Yeah, he struggles. He struggles with it for sure.
Yeah,
There's context to everything. All right, you ready to play?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Get that pen
ready?
Okay.
Someone who already has a green jacket will win the Masters. Love it or shove it.
Okay. Previous winners, Tiger, Phil, Spieth, Sergio, Bubba, Adam Scott. So
among others,
certainly. I am going to shove that. My pick, I have not given my pick. My pick, Trey, is going to be Ricky Fowler.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because of all these young kids, he's the one that hasn't won that major.
He has not won
And in 2014, they combined the total relation to par for all four majors. He was by far the lowest, but he didn't win one of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm with he's right there, ready to break out. He's going to do it this time. 16-1 odds. He was up from 20-1, 16-1 right now. That is my pick.
All right. I am going to love it because oh, he looked good. Yeah, I got a Tiger folder, okay? Tiger Woods, yo.
You're picking Tiger?
No, I'm just going to love it because that's a possibility. In my heart, I'll tell you who I'm actually going to pick, but I'm going to love it because I want to see either Tiger, Phil, or Jordan Spieth win.
Okay.
So that's that. I'm going to love it for that reason.
All right.
You want to know my actual pick, though?
It's going to be someone who hasn't won a green jacket,
correct.
Right?
It's Rory McIlroy.
I
did that for the segment.
You are unbelievable. You are.
What's next?
One day he'll understand.
What's next?
Russell Westbrook will average a triple-double again this season. Love it or shove it.
Listen, he needs 41 rebounds in 3 games. The previous 3, he's got 40 rebounds. There is no doubt he'll get at least 41 rebounds. And he'll average a triple-double again, which has really gone more unnoticed than last year. I get it to a point. Certainly, it hadn't been done since 62. It's still
ridiculous.
But he has done it with better players, bigger name players, guys who you think he'd have to share the ball more this year. But I absolutely love that and think he will get those 41 rebounds.
I am going to flat out love this. Love it, love it, love it. And we're gonna have a parade for Russell Westbrook when this goes down because it's gone far too unnoticed this year. So we are all on the Russell Westbrook doing it twice again bandwagon. We're going to have Russell Westbrook triple-double day. So there we go. Yes, I love it. Yeah, Jerry can do a song for that. Jerry Bear will get something
as long as he doesn't sing.
Also fair.
All right.
The Raptors should be the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. Love it or shove it.
Shove it. I mean, listen, hey, Brett, I actually want you on right now. How many times has Toronto beaten Cleveland in the playoffs? That's all right. You don't have to tell me. We all know what the answer is, right?
0. I'd actually like to hear from Brett.
Exactly. It's 0. So, no. In the play, they should obviously, by record, deserve to be the number 1 seed, but no way would I make them the favorites. That means I would put any kind of money I like on them as the favorites. Not one chance I shove it.
Big, giant shove for me. As Randy Jackson would say, that's a hard no for me, dog.
Good reference.
There you go.
The Patriots will select a quarterback in the first round of this year's NFL draft. Love it or shove it.
I do. We had Damian Woody in here, and remember, they have 2 firsts, 23-31, and then 2 seconds and a third. Damian thinks they'll take a quarterback with one of those first 4 picks. I do as well, and there is the difference of, again, doing it in the first round, you get that 5th-year option for the team option, so you get that extra year. Second round, it's a 4-year deal. I think they will, but I think it's going to be in the second round. Trey, so I'm going to shove this. I think they take a quarterback, but I think it's in the second round.
I'm going to love it. I think that they secretly like Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, wouldn't shock me at all.
No, so I mean, he's the quarterback that I think everybody's sleeping on in this draft. I really like that matchup, and he fits the bill, so I'm going to love it. I think they're going to take one.
All right, this one we'll start with Brett here. RG3 will never start another game in the NFL. Love it or shove it, Brett.
Shove it. There are too many guys who end up starting for one reason or another, and I think he gets a chance.
Can I ask a question?
Quickly.
Why did you start with Brett? What makes him part of this Golic and Wingo love it or shove it?
Because he wants to be.
I mean, he's Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to love that, the inclusion.
I'm loving it too.
Granger is very inclusive, and we want to include Brett. Want to include Dan.
I'm going to shove Brett.
I'd like to see you try. He puts the size in seismology.
He does. We'll never start another game. Wow. Because if he's the backup in Baltimore, then obviously you would love it because you're one play away, and we see backups in all the time. But will he get that? Who else will they sign for the competition? I'm going to go the other way and say I love it. He's going to have the redemption tour. He's going to be the backup, and because of that, he'll get a chance to start again. So I'll love it.
I will absolutely love it. I think he's absolutely going to start. Maybe even a couple games this year. So yeah, I'm all about it. Definitely going to be on the love it side there.
All right, Brett, the one who got it done. No, I'm just congratulating him. We'll move on.
Okay.
But great job. Mm-hmm. He gets it. Adults should not put ketchup on their hot dogs. Love it or shove it.
Now we need some context.
Yeah, the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council says only those under 18 should put ketchup on their hot dogs.
Is there any sort of context as to why they say that?
No, I shove the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council like crazy.
Which I thought you would never do.
I shove them because putting an age limit on ketchup is ridiculous. And I put ketchup on my hot dog. I absolutely put ketchup on my.
I'm not a mustard guy. I put ketchup on my hot dog.
And there's nothing wrong with putting any condiment you want that you like on your hot dog. Zero wrong with it. So I completely shove this. It's ridiculous.
I'm shoving this as far as it can be shoved. Now, Stanzik, you just said something interesting in my ear. What's happening with Junior?
So Junior made a big deal about this on First and Last.
As he should.
Allie has been going back and forth with a member of this so-called council.
There really is a council.
There really is a council. This guy, his Twitter handle is something VP Meat.
Is he potted meat?
VP.
Yeah. Okay.
He will be going on with your son.
He will.
In the near future.
I'd love to hear his explanation. How can you tell me an age?
Well, here it is. This is according to an article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Just as Merlot is a no-no with chicken and using your fingers to eat asparagus spears is perfectly fine, there's a certain etiquette when it comes to hot dogs. So says the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. It says don't put hot dog toppings between the hot dog and the bun. Dress the dog, not the bread. Do not apply condiments in the following order. Wet condiments like mustard and chili first, followed by chunky condiments. And it says don't use ketchup on the dog unless you're under the age of 18. But it doesn't tell us why.
See, here's my thought process.
I need to know the why. I'm like Josh Rosen. I need to know the why.
Oh, you're millennial.
I'm millennial. I need to know the why, and then I'm good.
Here's my thought process, Hot Dog and Sausage Council. Who the hell are you?
There you go.
To tell me I bought the hot dog. I will dress said hot dog any way I feel. And also, I have had Merlot with chicken before.
Merlot.
Oh, Merlot with chicken before. Okay? I know it's Merlot.
Sometimes I really don't know. Remember your whole thing? I like Pinehurst number 6.
I don't really like wine.
Pinehurst number 6, and you're like, no, that's an actual course.
I didn't even know that.
Didn't even know.
But and even that Merlot with chicken. Yeah. Who? If I like Merlot and I like chicken and I like the two together, I'll mix them. It's my palate. I shove this. I shove you, council, as far as it can be shoved, and I hope my son destroys you on air. How about that?
I just don't understand why the 18 thing is there. I mean, is it because you can only have so much sugar and there's sugar and I don't get it.
A lot of things. I mean, why 16 for driving? I was driving all over the place at 14.
Well, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Never mind.
You know who's for every age?
Who's that? Granger.
Because they're the ones that get it done.
Except for Cliff.
Why don't
he's been awful?
Why don't you go ahead and read that?
Why has Cliff been awful?
Did you hear him on Levitard? You hear him today with Stu? He's had a rough few days.
I think Cliff got bagged on the Levitard.
I do.
Okay, what happened today when he just gave up the source?
That was pretty bad.
I think Bubba was just annoying and corny. So
but Cliff,
kick him off.
That was bad when you gave up the source. You put Allison in a very, very tough spot on the Levitard show.
Let me just say sorry, Allison.
Yeah.
It's a little late now.
It's all good now.
It's a little late.
All taken care of. Everything's fine.
Go ahead and read it.
Said it.
Is that from me?
Yeah. Just do it. Just read it.
If you're a spokesperson, speak.
Go on.
That was Love It or Shove It, brought to you by Granger, the products and services you need when you need them. Granger's got your back to help keep your facility running.
Reading.
Granger, for the ones who get it done, like Brett and me.
There you go. Nice job. You look good, by the way. You look good in black.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm probably going to wear it every day.
I don't blame you.
Would not surprise me.
It's slimming as slimming can be on you.
That helps. I'll take it.
Any advantage you can
go.
This has been the Best of Golic and Wingo podcast. You can listen or subscribe on the ESPN app, Apple Podcasts, or just ask your smart speaker to play Golic and Wingo. Plus, you can check the guys out live weekday mornings from 6 to 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN News.
Everyone in the neighborhood knew about Bobby. Bobby, the basketball boy, they called him. Bobby wanted to go pro someday, so he was always out in the driveway shooting hoops. But one day, his mom came out and told him, "Hey, your wife wants you to take out the trash?" His mom was visiting, and Bobby was a grown man. He had kind of missed his window. Plus, no one had ever seen him actually make a basket. But on the other hand, Bobby had heard how Geico could save him money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. So, it was all